Today's video features Mr. Kakari, a fellow pig farmer based in Nkranza South in the Bono East region of Ghana, who, after facing numerous challenges, is still in the game. He even trained some of his staff, and after they became too confident and too competent with the game, they decided to quit for him to start all over again. Yet, he is still in the business. We want to get to know his side of the story and what we can also take home and how we can apply this.
The moment you continue to train the person, as the person is becoming good, the person will just run away either for another business, or maybe the person will be chasing another dream. The person cares less.
Tell us how you got started in pig farming in the first place, especially what inspired you into the business and how many pigs you started with.
The name of the farms is Santiyaba. So my mother's name is Santiya. She's Thursday born, a woman. So in Ghana, she's Ya, and usually we call our moms auntie in our local dialect. So Auntie Yaba means the son of Auntie Ya. He has been so wonderful in my journey, so I decided to name the farms after her. When I bought the land, I started with vegetables, and by then I had some livestock, that is good, and then sheep at some place, but I had not brought them to the farms. So later on, I brought them to the farms, the goats and then the sheep, and then I created some small coop or barns for them. And along the line, I was with these goats and then sheep, and then I was also doing the vegetables. Well, it was on a smaller scale. Along the line, I had a mentor, and then he is a friend and a senior colleague who I used to work with. Sometimes I volunteer for his organization. So along the line, he came to my field, and then, in fact, I sent him pictures of the farms and what I was doing there. So he had me in mind, and then along the line, he contacted me that there is this somebody who wants to also do the piggery, but that does not know where to start it. So he came and then donated to me 6 rooms with a store on my land, the land that I have bought. So we used about 1.5 months, getting to 2 months to construct these 6 rooms plus a shop. So about some months later, we're not getting the pigs. So my mother was in the village when she chanced on some rare piglets. So she informed me that, in fact, the litter from that particular pig are very nice. So, and there is a man who is selling these litters. One of the I can buy 3. So by then I gave her 600 cedis, and then I got 3 of the piglets. And then I think in 1 month I got the 3 uh, piglets. 2 to 3 months. Then that my boss who built me the pen also give me 5 pigs. That is 3 female and a small male too. So by then we had increased our numbers, but still we had not crossed any of them. So in about 6 months time, then the ones that I started out, usually I call them the Luta, they started to give birth, and then the other ones to the followed suit. I am a fan of livestock, and pigs are of no exception. So I decided to also add pigs because they were part of the range of livestock I was going to rear on the piece of land I had. Yes, life is almost a challenge. That is why even in our local dialects, we literally see life is war. So in any way, before you become matured for any other thing, there are some hedges, there are some mountains you need to climb before you get to the higher side, or maybe you win. So with this journey, in fact, when immediately I started with this piggery, I also got a small contract that I needed to move away from the farms to the city. So in fact, when these three piglets came, I did not start. The only thing I was doing was I was buying feed. So we're missing the feed and then trying to do a whole lot of things. So I even though when I was schooling, we had some pigs that were rearing, but we're only using these leaves and then pawpaw to feed them. But this is when we had started, and then we had some feed that we needed to formulate in order to give to these ones, because we did not have enough leaves to feed these animals with. And even if you're going commercial, that is not advisable. With this one, issues with labor, because one thing is that if you hire somebody to uh, look for, cater for your farms. One thing with regards to this livestock is that you have to get passion. But if somebody is working somewhere and you hire the person might not have that passion or interest in the farm, but just that because of the end of month salary, the person may be forced to. And these people might not have any technical know-how with regards to the piggery. So the person does it herself. So starting these ones will spoil a lot of feed. The person will just put the feed inside, and then just spread it anyhow. When it gets in the evening, once you tell the person that, oh, you have to strip into in order to keep it clean, this person will just strip the feed away, whether being eaten or not. The person will just strip the feed and throw it away, and then fetch in another one. The moment you continue to train the person, as the person is becoming good, you see the person will just run away either for another business, or maybe the person will be chasing another dream. The farm wasn't the person's original dream, so the person cares less. Once the person will get somewhere who pays higher than you do, the person will just run to that person, or might even change the mind and even leave the farms. That is one thing. So I had changed a lot of workers, some of them being running away without even telling you, and then add a whole lot of issues. Some people, when they come from the scratch, they'll be using your farms as a practical grounds. They will just be spoiling a whole lot of things, and you'll be buying a whole lot of medicines. And once you are away to, you have a lot of heart. This is because pressure. Anytime the person calls you, the person cannot even describe the situation for you. If that the thing is severe or not, the person will not be able to describe. As maybe an eyewitness, if you are there, you know what to do. And the issue is that anytime you would have to also be on top of issues in order to give quick answers to uh, their programs. And also, because we are trying to also go commercial, we use commercial feed from the feed shops, and then because of the general increment in the feed and other additives and the ingredients for this piggery, we are facing a lot of rising cost of feed. And also sometimes too, if you don't have a lot of coops or rooms for the pigs to, when they begin to give birth, then you face issues, because a mother, a nursing mother and the one that is not nursing cannot sleep together. So sometimes you have pressure of trying to divide the rooms. I remember my first email to you to I wrote about how some of my pigs were aborting. Those were their first birth, so some of them were just aborting their piglets few days to birth. In terms of sickness, I had never experienced that before, not major one. Maybe some of the piglets dying a few days after birth, maybe few of them have not even encountered, let's say, 30%, like 2%, 3% out of the whole 100%. With regards to piggery, you need to plan properly with your rooms. Well, the moment they begin to give birth or when they are maturing, you need to get rooms, either to separate males from females. So those are some of the challenges with regards to the piggery that we are doing in Kwanzaa municipality, that is in Bono, east of Ghana.
With your case, has there been any instance where you felt like, no, this thing is not working, I have to give up and rethink or reconsider a new business? And why
Mm.
did you still keep going in this business?
You see, you might have your own intention or the vision that you had. I had an instance where a caretaker gave me 3 days notice to come and then take over my farms, or he would just leave the animals and then leave the farms. By then, I was also engaged somewhere. When something of that nature happened, I was advised by people closer to me to just sell the animals, do whatever I'm doing, and then when I come back, I come and then start again. I had an instance where parents and other things were telling me that it's like I like so I have just put pressure on myself by doing these things. People who were closer, who were supposed to even encourage me, because it got to a time I was just changing caretakers like that day in, day out. People will come, you might not know what happened. You think you were doing your own best by keeping these people, but these people just move away from the place. And then that is when people will come to you, "Oh, just sell them, just get for the coop or for the houses there. When you are done with your contract and you come back, you come and then you start." But you see, me, I had read, I have also followed people who were entrepreneurs and didn't give up. So even in the midst of those ones, people advised me, but I said no, because I had the reason why I started this whole journey. There was an instance where these local pigs that I started with, they were so stubborn that when you allow, or in the expense of when one gets out, it will be very difficult for you to get this animal. You would have to be running after them, setting traps in order to get them and then put them back to the pen. So we had another animal that was jumping over the walls and then getting to people's farms, eating their produce, and then they were coming to me, telling me they will kill it, they will poison them, they will shoot them. Even in as much as this animal was in the pen, they had still kept it in ropes and it had wounds all over its body. I put a price on this particular animal and then I wanted to sell it, but it got to me that let me try, man. And wonderfully, this animal was a pig that has given birth to the highest number of piglets, which is 10 in the whole farm. So even in as much as you want to give up, you still have a very small reason that you are supposed to keep going. For me, I mean, I've pictured that I want to own the biggest livestock, and maybe when it comes to livestock in the Nkranza and Techman or maybe Bono East, I'll be the first person to come in mind when it comes to that particular region in Ghana.
As you have also been talking about hiring and firing some people at some point and people also running from your farm. So with the current
Mm.
one, how are you keeping your farm attendant motivated so that he gives his best to the animals?
When it comes to the motivation, as far as I know, and then to my best level of knowledge, I am also doing what I can. When it comes to motivation, I have built 2 rooms on the farmland that I have bed, I have net, that is mosquito net. I have mattress that is on it. Irrespective of who is staying there, I pay the electricity bills. There is free access to water. I am giving him a considerable amount of money in terms of his monthly salary. In between the months to I used to give him an amount of money that he will also use to supplement his feeding. And of course, also I have foodstuff on the land. That is, I have cassava, yam, cocoyam. So all those ones are there. So they eat from the farms. They eat from the farms, and then at the end of the month, too, I try to give them some monies to buy data and then call credit. And on daily basis too, I also call him. I call, and then in fact when you come and we are talking, you might not be able to differentiate either he is a worker, a brother, or whoever. So that is what I am doing to my best of knowledge. I have been able to put things in order because farms that have street lights, farms that we have a tricycle that even if you are going to fetch weeds for these goods and then the animals, you have I buy fuel inside and then this tricycle the guy used it. So I'll even see it's as if it's his own private vehicle, but that is what we use for. So I think in terms of motivation, when you come to the farms, if you are going to pick animal feed, I buy fuel as and when needed. And anytime we don't have fuel, I try to fuel the motorcane, that is a tricycle, in order to fetch the feed for the goods and sometimes the pigs. And then also, even if they have something to grind to, they use the services of the corn mill, and that one is being given to them for free. Nobody charges them. Yes, and occasionally too, when I'm moving from the city, village or the farmland, if it is maybe some shirts, some t-shirts, and other dresses that I get, I also send them to him personally, and then the wife, and then sometimes to the child. So at least that is what I am also doing in order to help lift their motivation.
So speaking from yours, are there any guidelines and certain things you look out for before you hire somebody to work with? Do you also have maybe a contract with a person, or what's your hiring process?
Okay. Uh, One thing is that starting we all make mistakes, and then uh, usually we could not use the normal recruitment process. Go one, we're thinking about the amount of money that we pay to a professional somebody. Because it's something that we are starting small. So usually we only rely on people who are also willing to do the work, and then we take recommendations from people we trust or people who might have known those people for some time. I am now putting things together. I'm now putting things together to see if I will be able to put something on paper. But this current guy started in July. He started in July, and then so far so good. I will sit him down, we'll agree, and then put things on paper in order to formalize things. So that has been my plan for now.
So looking at all this stress you are going through from feed to hiring to also trying to reduce your cost, if
Mm.
you are to start today in livestock or farming business as a whole, are you going to still consider pig farming?
Oh yes, yes. I will still consider pig farming. I still consider pig farming, even though there will be a lot of things I'll also be putting in place before I start with this pig farming. As for that one, it's something that I have also uh, thought about. Now, If I am going to start with piggery, one, I'll look at the breed. I'll look for a very good breed that has proper feed conversion rate. At least, if I give this animal feed, it should be able to convert it into muscles. And then also, I also check about the sizes of the rooms because I will not build a bigger rooms for pigs, and then only one pig will just take it, and the rest will not get some place to sleep. So I will not be doing bigger rooms for one particular pig. I will just try to demarcate it so well. Also, if I am starting piggery now, I will even look for a market before I even start. Or the moment I start, my I'll look for my customer base or my customers before I continue with any other thing. But that is the biggest thing. Well, for pigs, any moment they are eating, and as they are eating, it is from a packet that they are also eating.
You just talked about the market, so let me just take you to that direction also. So how do you usually get the buyers? I know that is also a major issue in pig farming.
Yes, so that is something that everybody, anyone who conceives the idea of starting a pig farm, I also tell you that look for your customers before the animal gets into maturity. Know who will be buying your pigs. It's very important. So what I do is that I fall on the local butchers, the sellers, those who buy the retail to the community members. And then sometimes we also rely on the colleague farmers who have their own customers. So sometimes when their customers come and then they are out of stock, they also try as much as possible to contact you if you also have some available. Yes, that anybody who wants to start, no, and even recently, those people who also contact me for consultation or who would want to start, I also tell them, I ask them where you are, do people like each state? Because for me, for instance, the particular community in which I am are not my customer base. I have never got anybody from the community buying my pig because those the about 98% of the whole population are Muslims. So they don't even come to ask for the pigs and even buy some. So all my customers are coming outside the community, and that is how. And then I also try as much as possible to be putting some on social media in order to also attract spontaneous buyers, those who want to buy for maybe one event or an occasion, or maybe people who are also sellers and want to buy and resell. So that is how I do my marketing so far.
If I ask you that the profitability of pig farming, are you going to say it's profitable or not?
Yes, it's profitable. I would say it's profitable because if you are strategic, then if it just depends on the marketing that we have just said. Sometimes you can do value chain. Some people, I think we have some few people in the farming where they also have their own pork joints, where they slaughter their animals, sell the fresh ones, and then also sell the cooked ones. Uh, some of these people are there. Others also target only the breeding. When they have the piglets, and then after winning them, they also sell to people who are interested in buying some for rearing. All those ones are there. You know, we just check which one suits you, and then you try to use that strategy. Once it's perfect with you, then you proceed with that.
Let me just
Mm.
chip this in. You want to know the most amount you ever sold a particular pig for, a single pig.
Okay, so my highest, I'll not hide it, maybe something that we are all doing to encourage ourselves. The highest that I have sold a single is 3,500 Ghana cedis, one pig. 3,500 cedis. So the 3,500 Ghana cedis, so 217.95 USD. That is the 3,500 with this current rate in Ghana here.
About the 3,500, did you actually take note of the age of the pig on the farm?
I think that particular pig was once I started it. So that animal, let's say, averagely spent 2 years in the farm. Actually, the animal by then was not going to keep it for meat at the initial years because I was going to use it as a mother to be giving me piglets. But eventually, due to some situations, it couldn't, so I had to sell it off.
Are you currently selling your pigs? And if I am interested in starting, how do I reach you and your location, as well as the breed you have on your farm for me?
I have I have meals that I am selling. So it depends on the buyer's choice, whether you are going to rail, whether you are going to eat. But I trust me, those pigs are very good breeds that you could also start your farms with. And I have the ones that are available that I have about 36 pigs that are ready for new homes. So if you are interested, you can call me and then we talk about this animal. So my number is 0245818595. Maybe you would want to use Telecel. That one is 0209523075. So we have Lanris and then we have large white. With the Lanris, we don't have a pure Lanris that we are selling. The mother is a Lanris, but the, let's say the other ones are crossbreed. Yes, the crossbreed of Lanris and then large white, and then I have large white and large white. Yes, so when you come, this is what we have currently available. We have now started with the Duroc, but they have not started littering. So we might want to wait for some months before we can sell those ones to the general public. But trust me, these breed of animals available are very wonderful. They are fast growing animals and then they are also very nice.